This is obviously attendance interview. Yeah. Pam's with you as your friend or CW rep?
No, it's
Colleague.
Colleague. Yeah. So, and you got your papers, you got your sick record, everything was fine there. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't got it with me, but I presume it's
Do you want
fine.
a copy or?
do agree
Okay.
with
Yeah, I'll give you. I'll go and do another copy if you want.
No, I don't.
No,
I'll keep the copy I've got home. I was just curious about something.
Yeah, well, we'll discuss that in a minute, mate. Do you want me to go and do your copy?
No, you can have this back, Tony. I've got another copy at home.
All right, so we'll crack on with the interview, okay, mate?
Mhm.
So, obviously, this meeting is set up to discuss your attendance record, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, and Pam's here with you as your colleague, yeah?
Yep.
And you're happy to continue, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Right, so I checked the accuracy of the absences detailed in the sick record, and Mr. Fisk confirmed it was correct or disagree. Do you agree that they are correct?
Yeah, I guess you count weekends as absence days, don't you?
No,
Because
show
I've
me
gone-
what you mean.
On the last one there, where I was off on a Tuesday, you've got 8 days. I went off on the 2nd. The last day of absence was the 9th. 2 to 9 comes down to 7 in my book. And I'm only a 5-day working week anyway.
Let me have a look at the calendar.
No, actually, that's right.
You went off
If
on
they're
the
counting,
2nd,
if they're counting weekends.
right? You went off on the 2nd and you came back on the 10th. Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah? So
heard that, yes.
that would be, yeah,
They do count weekends then.
that would be because that was continuing absence, wasn't it?
Okay.
Yeah? Okay.
Right.
Because you'd count the Saturday and Sunday because you were off the Monday. Does that make sense? Yeah?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So,
That doesn't necessarily mean I agree with it, but I see what you're saying. Well, I'm a 5-day working week, aren't I? So.
yeah, but it's a
I know what you're
continuing
saying.
absence, yeah?
Yep.
So, the 9th, the 2nd to the 10th to the 9th of the 10th, 2007, 8 days, flu and cold, yeah? Do you agree with that?
Mhm.
Okay. Also, 13th of March
Around the
was
14th.
2 days,
Yeah.
asthma,
Yeah.
yeah, okay.
Mhm.
And the latest one, which was 7th of April to 6th of June, 61 days, was stress, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. Right. so
Work-related stress, I hasten
Well,
to point out. That's what was on the certificate.
we'll discuss that in a second. Right, so we'll discuss each absence. So we'll go on with the 2nd to the 10th, which was flu. Yeah?
Mhm.
Anything you'd like to say there?
No, I had the flu.
Next one?
I had asthma. As you're well aware, I suffer from asthma,
Yeah, I do.
and the company's aware.
Have you had a BRF for that?
No.
Did you request one?
No, but I believe I declared it to the company when I joined. In fact, when I started here, they did actually insist on me having a medical with a Royal Mail person who does that. So I've had that.
When did you join the company, James?
First week of August 2006, I believe it was.
And did they do that before you started?
Yes.
And they declared you fit,
They must have done. They employed me.
and that they didn't think that'd have any detrimental effect on your
I don't think so.
working in the environment.
I don't think they'd have employed me if they did. that was why they asked for me to take a medical. So
Okay, there's nothing in there. Okay. Questions? Right, 17th for the 12th, which I have a return to work here for, which was done by Mark Aspin on the 17th of December to the 20th of December, which is not on your sick record. Can you remember going sick then?
no.
You've signed it.
You asked me if I can remember, Tony. I can't remember going sick. What was it for and how long?
It was cold leading to asthma.
Okay.
This was I don't know if I look at the return to work there.
3 days, wouldn't it? Four days. And does this fall within the
Yeah, this will
period?
capture this in this attendance record. Yeah. So
Yeah, well, I don't remember it, but obviously I have signed it, so I guess I did.
yeah.
Uh,
Okay. So we'll add that in, and then that leads us up to.
I just would like something to say about this, though. Bearing in mind, as you remember, you used to put me in a Reggie locker, and I did tell you at the time that it was too dusty in there for me, and I don't know if this is at that time. I'm trying to see
At
what.
Christmas time, mate, I was on the CFC.
Okay. I'm just saying that it could have been around about that time. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
But that was my reason for not going in there anymore, anyway.
Yeah, we stopped you from going
Yeah.
in there.
Well, except for one manager who tried to put me in there after that.
So that leads us up to the latest one, which is the 7th of April to the 6th of June, which was work-related stress. Is that what
Yep.
you'd like it put down as?
Yep.
Yeah. Would you like to talk about that?
Well, I think you're fully aware that I have a harassment problem with the manager, and that I have a formal
Is it a
grievance.
harassment problem or grievance problem?
Well, I'm a little confused on the subject, because at the end of the day, the manager harassed me, he bullied me.
Right.
I took legal advice, and the advice I was given was to put it in as a formal grievance. That doesn't mean to say that it isn't harassment. And the company,
How is the case
the
going
company continues to say, "Oh, well, it's not harassment because it's a formal grievance." I'm sorry, but to me, there's no difference. The guy harassed me, he bullied me, I made a complaint, and I was advised by the harassment and bullying helpline solicitor to put it down as a formal grievance.
Right, and how is that going on?
It's
Is that ongoing? Or
ongoing.
So you've not had an answer to what's happened at the moment?
No, I haven't, no. As far as I know. I've had a meeting with Gareth, that's all I've had, where he wanted to establish my side of the case,
Yeah.
which I put in a 10-page formal grievance and detailed every sort of step of the process that led me to going off sick, and I don't really know why he needed to get me in the first place. But no, as far as I'm concerned, it's not resolved.
Right. You came back on the 6th of June, and you came back on a different shift. Didn't
Yes,
you?
I did.
Yeah, you came back on the early shift.
Hmm.
Did you do 9 to 12 or something like that?
Yeah,
Yeah.
9 to 12.
And you just recently, from last week?
Last
Monday,
week, yes.
which was... I'm good at my dates, to apologise.
16th.
Yes, 16th of June.
Yep.
Yeah. And you're happy here? You're happy you're on the shift now?
This is my proper shift, which I do want back, but I've been asked to do this temporarily whilst the other person is on annual leave.
What's your plans for next week?
If he returns to work, then I guess I go back on to earlies.
Okay. Well, we'll discuss that later on, okay? I just want to...
Unless during his annual leave he decides to make me an apology.
Obviously, I can't comment on
No,
the...
but
I can't
you know,
comment on the grievance.
that's what I want to resolve the issue.
So Gareth is dealing with that. He's dealing with that issue.
All I've had from Gareth is a letter to say that he's done his investigations, even though he's spoken to neither of the people that I gave as witnesses. You know, and
Obviously,
I'm waiting for the
what I
outcome
mean,
of that.
from my point of view, Gareth is dealing with your grievance.
Yes.
Yeah. Hi, mate. I'm in the middle of it. Yeah. I won't be long. Alright, mate, bye. Do apologise about that.
It's fine, buddy.
Right, sorry. So Gareth is dealing with the grievance, yeah?
Apparently
And then
so.
that's ongoing.
Yes.
Yeah, you need to chase that up with him, obviously. I can find out, if you like, where he is at the moment, if you wish me to.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, is there anything else you'd like to add on that?
No.
Right. Okay. Okay, that moves me on. I explained that the genuineness of the absences was not being questioned. It was the frequency and the amount of the absences which exceeded the Royal Mail standards, which have been agreed with the unions. Yeah. Do you understand that?
Yes.
Yeah.
Can I just ask one question on that?
Yeah.
Had I not been off with the stress, would it have exceeded? Because I don't make a habit of going sick.
No, sorry, I'm just trying to add up. Yes.
14 days.
Yeah, it would have triggered a stage one, yes.
Okay.
I believe so.
Because you've got your 8.
Was this Monday?
You've got 4 days there. 17th to the 20th, 17, 18, 19, 20.
Yeah.
You've got 8 days, 2nd to the 10th.
Yeah.
So that's 12 days. And then your 2 days you had here in March
14.
this year for your asthma is 14 days to
Yeah.
trigger a stage 1. It has to be 4 absences or 14 days in
Yeah,
any
so,
12-month
yeah.
period.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it would have been 14 days. That would have triggered stage
Okay.
one. Okay?
Yep.
Right. Is there any health or personal problems which may be affecting your record at the current time?
Well, I've already told you I have asthma. I've had it for years, ever since I first started working in a post office back in 1990.
Have you
That,
ever been asked for a BRF or anything like that for it? Or
as I explained before I rejoined the post office, they gave me a medical for that reason. And they obviously did find me fit to work because they employed me afterwards.
have you had a BRF or not? What I call an ATOS assessment. Or
Since being re-employed,
Yeah.
no,
No. Would you like one?
I don't think so. I don't see that I really need one. I have asthma and I can't
Yeah.
do anything about that, and I take medication for it every day.
Right.
It's not really going to change if I speak to Atos. They've already seen me. They were the ones that did the initial
Assessment?
assessment,
Or,
yeah.
is that what you call it? Assessment? Or
I guess it was an assessment, which was done at Colchester.
Right.
So they should have a record somewhere.
So at the moment you don't feel it's any help to have a BRO? An ATOS appointment, sorry.
All they'll do is make me see a nurse.
No, I just
Or
wondered
not.
if you want
Is that-
support
well,
of that.
Not for that reason, no. No, I don't need to. I mean, they phoned me last week and asked if I was going to go and see them, and I don't see the reason to.
Okay.
The only other...
No, from my point of view, Jem, I just want to make you aware that that is there to help you if you require it. Yeah.
Now, the only other thing that I can bring up is obviously this situation.
The grievance. Yeah. Okay.
And as long as I'm not in contact with that manager, under the circumstances, I'm fine to do my job.
Okay.
So I don't need to see Atos for that either. What I do need
but
to see is the system
but what
working properly.
What I want you to be aware of, the services are there if you require their help. Yeah.
Okay. Thank you.
Are you aware of the standards that are in Royal Mail? The attendance standards?
Yes.
Yeah? You are, yeah? You're obviously, you know what is expected of you, yeah?
As far as doing my job?
No, as in attendance.
The
The attendance standards, yeah? Do you know what I mean?
yeah, I do know what you mean, yeah.
So you know what's expected of you, yeah?
Yeah.
At this point,
And as I said to you, I don't make a habit of going sick unless I genuinely am.
this is just an attendance interview. It's not a criticism on you.
No.
Okay. You do realise that if we must emphasise the fact that persistent failure to achieve the standards may ultimately result in dismissal.
Yes, I realise
further.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I'm not going to give you a decision today, obviously. I've got to go, obviously, away and obviously read up what you've put forward as mitigation towards, obviously, what we have to take into consideration. Okay. So I won't make a decision here and now, but I have to remind you there will be no appeal against that provision. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Is there any other points that you'd like to raise?
No.
No? Pam? You okay? Yeah? Right. Any actions that we need to agree today? What I mean is, are you happy in your work?
Normally,
yeah,
yes.
you're happy right, at the moment you're happy with your attendance, apart from obviously the issue you have with the other manager, yeah?
I'm happy with my attendance.
No, do you understand what I mean? So what I'm trying to say to you, Jem, is, at the moment you're happy doing 6 till 9 on the late shift.
Whilst that manager's not here, yes I am.
Yeah. So from next week you intend on doing 9 till 12 again on the early shift, yeah?
I cannot work on the same shift with him until there's some resolution on that issue.
What I'm trying to do, Jem, is just put this in there so we can agree some actions, yeah?
No.
So I can support you as well, yeah?
No, that's what Robin's offered me, is not to have to work with that manager until it's resolved.
The grievance has been resolved, yes? Okay? So from Monday next week you'll return. Is that 9 till 12? You're happy with
12,
that,
yes.
Yeah? Okay.
Be from the 30th, yeah.
All right. And what I'll do as well is obviously I'll chase Gareth up for you and see what we can
appreciate
find out.
that.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No.
No? Pam? Sarah? No? Okay. Right. That's it.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
One thing. You can turn it off.